Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Khairul Anwar, metric number 119164. InsyaAllah, our group will present about governance Islamic banking institutions vis-a-vis Shariah governance framework that consists several key points such as the definition, objective, role and principle between governance Islamic banking institution and Shariah governance framework, and also some suggestion on how to improve Shariah governance in Islamic banking institution and suggestion on how to improve the role of Shariah committee in the bank. To get started, I would like to give a brief introduction or overview regarding this topic. Basically, Islamic banking institutions require a formal Shariah framework or procedure to have a strong credibility. Otherwise, client will have no assurance that the institution is upholding the principle of Islam in its financial dealings. At the same time, Islamic banking institution also require an additional layer of governance for the purpose of Shariah compliance. With this aspiration, Islamic financial institution governance needs a set of institutional arrangement to oversee the Shariah compliance aspect of their business and operation. The Shariah governance system is exclusive and unique to the corporate governance framework in the Islamic banking institution and distinguishes them from their conventional counterparts. So, in this presentation, we will analyze and make a comparison between Islamic banking institution governance and Shariah governance framework, whether both of them comply and parallel with each other, or maybe there is a slight difference in either one of their framework. So, I think without wasting any time, I invite the next presenter to present the next point. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Siti Aisyah Humaira, Binti Muhammad Khairani, metric number 11911615. I will start with the definition of the governance of Islamic banking institution and Shariah governance framework. Governance of Islamic banking institution. Islamic banking refers to a system of banking that complies with Islamic law, also known as Shariah law. The underlying principle that govern Islamic banking are mutual risk and profit sharing between parties, the assurance of fairness for all, and that transactions are based on an underlying business activity or asset. Shariah Governance Framework. The Shariah Governance Framework for Islamic Financial Institution, introduced in 2011, has played a critical role in supporting robust and orderly developments of the Islamic finance industry in Malaysia. In particular, the framework has led to the institutionalization of governance structures, policies, and processes to promote end-to-end Shariah compliance in Islamic finance operation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izzati Binti Mohamad Khir, my metric number 112711. I will continue with objective of the governance of Islamic banking institution and Shariah governance framework. Next, the objective. The Shariah governance framework for the Islamic financial institutions. The framework is designed to meet the following objective. First, sets out the expectation of the bank on an IFI's Shariah governance structures, processes, and arrangement to ensure that all its operations and business activities are in accordance with Shariah. Second, provides a comprehensive guidance to the board, Shariah committee, and management of the IFI in discharging its duties in matters relating to Shariah. And third, outlines the function relating to Shariah review, Shariah audit, Shariah risk management, and Shariah research. Objective governance of Islamic banking institutions. First, to offer contemporary financial services in conformity with Islamic Shariah. Second, to contribute towards economic development and prosperity within the principle of Islamic justice. And then to facilitate efficient allocation of resources, and last, to help achieving stability in the economy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Husna Binti Shakri, matric number 1192795. I will present about principles of the governance of Islamic banking institution and also principles of Shariah governance framework. Principles of the governance of Islamic banking institutions. First, the principles of moderation in the perspective of Islamic banking system is by putting the basis to the Al-Quran and As-Sunnah, complying all the muamalat principles, not exceed the limitation delineated, such as violating what has been prohibited. Second, the foundation of Islamic banking system is based on the Islamic faith and must stay within the limits of Shariah in all of its operation and activities. Amongst the governing principle of the system are the avoidance of interest-based or riba, transactions, economic activities involving operation, zulmi, uncertainty, horror, fraud, and so on. Principles of Shariah governance framework. First, fairness. Social fairness and economy in property utilization and division is applied in Islamic banking system. It is also a fundamental characteristic that distinguish Islamic and conventional banking system. The practice of riba in the conventional banking system has made it difficult for moderation value to be upheld. This practice is considered as oppressive, capitalistic, and in disregard of the less fortunate group of customers. Second, trust. In Sharia governance aspect, trust shall be one of the noble principles applicable in the Islamic banking system, and its application is evident from the independence of the supervisory instrument in its operation in Islamic banking institutions. According to the aforementioned definition of Shariah governance, the Islamic Financial Service Board, or IFSB, emphasizes on the importance of the elements of independence in the supervisory instrument. An effective supervisory systems refers to a process in the organization and institution that guarantees the monitoring or supervisory instrument is independent and free from any undue influence in ensuring Sharia compliance in the Islamic banking system. The third one is accountability. Sharia governance framework shall specify the functions of the components and structures to ensure accountability of each authority by separating the appropriate powers to prevent conflict of interest. Integrity and honesty are the main essence of the Sharia governance in Islamic financial transactions, which are dependent on mutual trust between parties. And the last one is transparency. The importance of the transparency in banking operation is to ensure that Islamic banking customers are able to obtain true and precise information relating to the products offered to them, so that they will be able to make an informed decision. Moreover, the transparency will also be able to smoothen the banking operation and thus safeguarding the interests of the parties involved, including the shareholders and customers.
My name is Nur Syahidah, Binti Sabri, matric number 1192714. I will present about why does Shariah governance framework important for Islamic banks. Shariah governance framework (SGF) is important for Islamic banks to implement Shariah principle confirm Shariah compliance and monitor the function of the banks. The quick progress of Islamic financial institution (IFI) has also emphasizes the necessity for Islamic finance policies to construct a suitable Shariah governance framework to be used nationwide as well as serving global financial structure. Because of the obligation of Shariah principle, IFI must ensure all activity are based on Shariah guidelines. In addition, IFIs need to form an Shariah department with some units to ensure Shariah compliance within their function and activities. The global Shariah governance practice in IFI vary from country to country because of the diverse certified legal and regulatory rules pertaining to the specific government procedures in the activity of Islamic banking and finance. Five types of categories of the Shariah governance and its importance, such as follow Shariah rules, Shariah compliance, business purpose, accomplish fiduciary responsibilities, and attract and certify the customer. The Shariah governance is significant of the Islamic banks to implement Shariah rules and regulation is ascertaining the overall business activities, as the Muslims have a soft corner regarding the Shariah. So the Islamic banks need to comply with the Shariah. The guidelines should be on the basis of Islamic principle without any interference and fear of management. Central to the Shariah governance of IFI, the role of the Independent Shariah Supervisor Board (SSB) are ensuring the Shariah compliance and enhancing the confidence of customers, shareholders, and stakeholders. So, conclusion, Shariah governance is an important and significant component in Islamic financial institution (IFI). It is identical to the corporate governance of any institution. Shariah governance framework in Islamic financial institution (IFI) justifies Shariah compliance in their functional activities. Without Shariah governance, an Islamic bank cannot run its activities effectively and efficiently, as well as ensuring accountability.
My name is Nur Maisya Aida, Binti Muda, matrix number 11927704. I will present about the issue and how to improve Shariah governance in the Islamic financial institution. Alright, for Shariah governance issues in the Islamic financial institution, there are generally three issues. First, independence of a Shariah board. The issue of the independence of the Shariah board has been debated for a long time. Among the reasons is that Islamic financial institutions provide remuneration and members of the Shariah board receive such remuneration, and there is a possibility that conflicts of interest in incentive to certify a legal or dubious operation to remain in the Shariah board will arise. Second, competency and conflict of interest. There is no limit in the number of Islamic financial institutions that can be advised by Shariah board members, and potential conflict of interest to refer to scholars who can provide Shariah consultation, but they are also on other audit and supervision firm. Lastly, disclosure and transparency. Disclosure and transparency are important elements in the Shariah system of governance. Transparency is very important for Islamic financial institutions to remain compliant with the Shariah because the Quran specifically forbids cancelling evidence in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 283. In our opinion, how to improve Shariah governance in the Islamic financial institution in Malaysia based on Shariah governance issue in general. First, impose state condition in the appointment of Shariah board members to avoid appointing irresponsible Shariah board members. Second, establish a specific and state law against the Shariah board that abuses its power to prevent a breach of trust among the members of the Shariah board. Third, We investigate the position of a Shariah board member in Islamic financial institution to prevent any confidential leaks that should not be disclosed to other institutions. Fourth, restrict to individuals only allowed to hold Shariah board position in one Islamic financial institution only and cannot be more to maintain the quality of work. And lastly, Islamic financial institutions that are transparent should disclose only necessary information such as the process of making fatwa on Islamic finance issues that have been issued by the Shariah Board Committee to the public, so that the public has more confidence in Shariah governance in the Islamic financial institution.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Thaqifah Binti Arop. My matrix number 1192710. Now I would like to present about our opinion on how to improve the role of Shariah committees in the bank. There are 6 opinions on how to improve the role of Shariah committee in the bank. First, Shariah committees should be given adequate training and provided with relevant notes or materials for their reference. Second, provide adequate knowledge and exposure to the Shariah committee so that they can understand and play their role from every angle as best as possible. Okay. Third, Shariah committees shall improve their interpersonal skills so that customers bank will be more confident to do business with them. Fourth, the Shariah committee shall be responsible and accountable in every decision, views and opinions related to Shariah matters. Fifth, Shariah committees should be more confidential in each piece of information by not sharing it freely to customers. And last, Shariah committees shall have good ethics and dress professionally in accordance with the guidelines set by Shariah. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah, I will make a conclusion for this presentation. In conclusion, we can conclude that the core principle of the Islamic banking system are drawn from the Shariah. Hence, empowering Shariah within the Islamic banking system is of utmost importance. Shariah offers a wide range of banking products that can be utilized to meet the needs of customers. Furthermore, Shariah is also open to new interpretation and provide room for innovation and financial engineering. Shariah governance and transparency are very critical areas in Islamic banking and are no less important than governance of Islamic banking institutions. In fact, Shariah governance was introduced to complement the existing governance of Islamic banking institutions. However, Shariah governance is particular to Islamic banking, as it is the mechanism which determines the Islamicity of any particular banking institution as well as the system as a whole. More importantly, Shariah governance ensures that the industry is at all the time in accordance within the Islamic law, not only in letters but also in its spirit. The governance of Islamic banking institution must abide by and adhere to the same regulatory requirement pertaining to disclosure. This will ensure the smooth management of the banking institution. Consequently, we must ensure the maximum utilization of Shariah principle in developing Islamic banking product, since the emphasis of the Islamic banking industry currently has been replication of instrument of conventional banking, while avoiding the interest rate mechanism certain that best product predominate the instrument used by the banking institution. That's all from me and our team. Thank you for your attention.